Now, how many times do we find ourselves in this particular situation? You've hit one offline, it's ended up in the trees, and you can see a gap to your target. When we do see a gap, how do we make sure that we play the shot through the gap? First thing that we do when we find ourselves in this situation, if there's anything around our ball that's not touching the ball, then we can remove it. So things like sticks that are near the ball, sticks that are underneath your stance, get them out of the way. Sticks that are in your way, or you feel like they're going to put you off, get them out of the way. As long as that ball doesn't move, it's fine. So now you can quite clearly see that I've got a gap here, but obviously what I've got to be careful of is I don't hit this ball too high, because if I hit this ball too high, it's going to catch that branch that's kicking out on that left-hand side there. So I know full well that I've got to try and keep the ball low. Now, how do we keep the ball low? Generally, we'll put the ball position back in our stance. But what we do when we put the ball position back in our stance is we can open up the club face. And this is where I see people really struggling to get out of the trees, because they put the ball back in the stance to hit the ball low, which is the right thing to do. But then what they don't do is adjust the club face to aim through the gap. We're going to draw a line between our ball and our target, and we always want to aim, if we can, for the middle of that gap. So the biggest part, so it gives us a little bit more room for error. So we're going to aim directly just left of where that flag is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick something out on that line. You can just see there's some flowers here on the floor. They are perfectly on that line in the middle of that gap there. So I'm going to put the ball back in my stance. I'm going to make sure my club face is aiming at those flowers. And then I'm just going to judge how hard I want to hit the ball. Let's see if we can demo this without hitting a tree for you. Ball position at the back of my stance, club face aiming towards my target, and swing through on that line. Oh, and there we go. Look at that. Think about that next time you find yourself in the trees.